Hi folks, Craft here. Today I would like to show you how I turn this block of composite material that I created myself into a Warrior Stone, or at least the first stages of it. Consider into something like this, and then we will continue from there. There's a little indent in there for your thumb, and it acts somewhat like a fidget toy. I'm going to start with a fairly rough Dremel sanding drum here. I've got this attached to a flex shaft. I have this rough drawing on there, and I'm just going to take those corners off and work up to those drawn in lines. And remember, it's not safety first, just stupidity last. Be smart, guys. So work those corners and just sneak up on those drawn in lines. When working with the Dremel, remember it's a velocity tool, so you want the speed to do the work. Don't put a lot of pressure on it, it will just end up hurting the motor. I'll speed this up a little bit. It's a lot of the same, just working the sides, bringing it down, working towards those roughed in lines. So I've started to round out those corners. So I'm kind of looking at it and trying to make it egg shaped. So I'm kind of looking at it, trying to get it egg shaped. This is a organic shape. So I want this to be egg shaped. So I keep stopping, checking my work, and then going back. Just hitting down any high spots that I can see. So you can see on my arm there, this creates a lot of dust, and it's very fine dust. So when you're working with something like this, please remember to put on a respirator, some form of mask, protect your lungs. You really don't want to breathe this stuff in. It might not do anything right now, it might not do anything next week. In the long run, you'll thank me later. So here I'm switching to this round ball bit. I don't know where I got it, I've had it forever. And I'm going to use that to take out any of the lines and scratches created by the sanding drum. It has a tendency of creating straight lines when working, and we really don't want that. The round ball will give us the ability to make more organic indents. You can use the drum to form round outside edges, but when working on the inside, a round ball like this will make your life a lot easier. When working with inside curves, the round shape of the bit helps you smooth that out, whereas a drum will simply keep adding more lines to it. I'm moving the bit pretty fast, and when moving the bit fast like that, it'll bounce off of any high spots you have, smoothing those out while leaving the rest smooth. And here I'm just feeling, making sure it feels organic, feels good, and clearly I'm happy with what I'm feeling. So here I am just cleaning up some of the dust. One of the Warrior Stones I'm working on trying to see what's underneath all that dust. And it looks okay right now, but check this out. I'm going to dip this in water, wash off that dust. And then just look at this. This is already starting to look amazing. So now I'm going back to that rough sanding drum I was using earlier, and we're going to start by rounding those outside corners. They're pretty sharp right now, they won't be comfortable, and we want the user to be able to play with this in the hand for extended periods of time. We also want it to look more organic, and this will help with that effect. It's also very, very thick right now, so I'm going to bring that down first, and then we'll start working those corners. Now I don't really have a technique for flattening this out. Because it's organic shape, we don't have to be super precise, so I'm just kind of going at it, taking off bits by bit, going back, looking at it, trying to keep it kind of straight, but again, this doesn't have to be super straight. If it is super straight, it'll look strange, it'll feel strange. So we're just trying to keep that natural feel and flow and movement. So now that I'm happy with the thickness I have, I'm going to start knocking down those sharp corners like I said. Now, while I do this, I'm going to see some of the abnormalities, some of the strange corners that I don't like, and I'll just go and I'll smooth those out as I go. I'm flipping to the front side here, and I'm taking very light passes. I don't want to take off too much material, just want to slowly go at it. Here I'm switching to a finer grit sanding drum. Now the previous sanding drum created deep scratches, and with this I'm going to smooth that out a bit. It won't do everything I need, but it'll give me a good start for when I start hand sanding. And try and hold on to your piece, don't let it fall like I do. I'm just taking my time here, looking for any deep scratches that I might be able to spot, and then trying to smooth those out. And I'm done here. Moving on to the next step. So here I'm comparing two of the ones I've been working on. One that's been smoothed and one that has not been. And in a moment here I'll show the camera. You can already see there's quite a difference. I know everything looks washed out, but that's just the dust clinging to everything. And now for the fun part. I'm going to start with a 220 grit sandpaper, and I'm going to start hand sanding this. I've heard a lot of other makers say that hand sanding is tedious and they don't really enjoy it. To me, it's more meditative. It's one of my favorite parts of the process. When you have a rough piece that is still scratched up and you slowly work through the grits to your final polished piece, to me, that's really the fun part. That's where you put the time in, it's where you put the love in. These pieces are for a few very dear friends. I recently lost my mother-in-law to cancer, unfortunately. She had a few friends, the tribe, that really stuck with her and helped her through the difficult time. And this is my way of giving something and saying thank you, because words don't really portray our feelings. Now, I'm not going to make you watch me sand. It's mostly just my hand waving about. So I'm going to speed through this. I would like to thank everyone for watching. If you want to see the final product, I will have links to my social media where I will post the final product. If you want to see any of the other craziness I will be getting up to, please consider liking, subscribing, ringing that bell. Stay kind to yourself, stay kind to others. Be good. Thank you guys. Bye bye.